Good afternoon to one and all. I am Vinoda, lecturer in chemistry at MALD GDC, Gadwal. So today I am discussing about enantiomers and diastereomers. So enantiomers and diastereomers are the stereoisomers. So the stereoisomers are the molecules that have atoms bonded together in the same order but differ in how the molecules are directed in space. Enantiomers are the mirror image isomers and they are non-superimposable. The diastereomers are the non-superimposable but they are not mirror image isomers. So all other stereoisomers, so that means which are not mirror images, are called as the diastereomers. Alternatively, the diastereomers are the stereoisomers that are not mirror images. So most of the diastereomers are either geometric isomers or the compounds with two or more chiral atoms. In enantiomers with one chiral center only, enantiomers are possible, but the diastereomers are with one chiral center, they cannot be possible. So the diastereomers can be possible only with the molecule contains two or more chiral atoms. So for example, geometric isomers, 2-butene. So the 2-butene molecule is exist in geometrically trans and cis isomers. So in trans isomer to the double bond, the two methyl groups are present in opposite directions. So one of the methyl group is on the top and other methyl group is on the bottom. Whereas in cis isomer, for the double bond, the two methyl groups are at the same side of the double bond. They are not mirror images of each other, so they are not enantiomers. So these are non-superimposable but they are not mirror images. So these are called as the diastereomers. The molecules with two or more chiral atoms, for example 2-bromo 3-chloro-butane. Here it is a structure of the 2-bromo 3-chloro-butane. So here for this molecule the enantiomers are possible. So this molecule can exist in 4 possible stereoisomers: 2s, 3r and 2r 3s are the two enantiomers, and other pair is 2s 3s and 2r 3r, other pair of the enantiomers. The 2s 3r and 2r 3s are the enantiomers. The next 2s and 3s and 2r 3r are also the enantiomers. We can also say 2s 3r is a diastereomer of 2s and 3s, or 2r and 3r, and 2s 3s is a diastereomer of 2s 3r and 2r 3s. Meso compounds. So previously we saw all the permutations for a molecule with two chiral centers. This follows a general rule that n chiral centers gives rise to 2 to the power of n stereoisomers. So, for the calculation of the stereoisomers which are possible for a molecule can be calculated by using the formula 2 to the power of n. So, here n represents to the of n refers to the number of the chiral atoms. So, this gives the maximum possible number of stereoisomers that can exist. But often, if the molecule is highly symmetrical, some of these stereoisomers are actually the same compound. For example, 2,3-dibromobutane. So, it has 2 chiral carbon atoms but only 3 stereoisomers. It has 4 but 2 are the same, giving 3 different. The enantiomer pair are termed the plus or minus diastereomer. The same compound pair are called the mesodiastereomer. The mesodiastereomer is achiral since it has a mirror plane of symmetry. So, it is optically inactive. A meso compound is an achiral compound which has a chiral carbon atoms. So, even though it has a chiral carbon atoms, but it is optically inactive due to the presence of plane of symmetry is possible in meso compound. The physical properties of the diastereomers. Physical properties of diastereomers. The enantiomers have identical physical properties like boiling points, melting points and density, except for their rotation of plane polarized light. But diastereomers have different physical properties. Since the diastereomers have different physical properties, they are often easy to separate to by normal practical techniques by using distillation, recrystallization and chromatography processes. The enantiomers are much more difficult to separate because of their identical physical properties. So, the separation of enantiomers. In nature, very often only one enantiomer is produced. The living organisms are one of the best sources of optically active compounds like plants, enzymes, cells, animals. Like in a lab, it is different. The 2-butanone on hydrogenation in presence of platinum as a catalyst, it produces R2-butanol and S2-butanol. If we require just one enantiomer of 2-butanol, we must separate it from the other enantiomer. So, this is called resolution. So, that means separation of the 2 enantiomer, or it is reverts to the racemization process. So, the enantiomers, that means here in resolution process the racemic mixture is separated. So, that means optically inactive compound is converted into optically active compound. In enantiomers, the enantiomers having the same physical properties, but they differ in a chirality. So, a chiral probe must be used for a such separation. Such a chiral apparatus or compound is termed a resolving agent. So, chemical resolution. So, it is a typical procedure for the resolution of chiral compounds is to react the reaction mixture with an enantiomerically pure compound. This gives rise to a pair of diastereomers which have different physical properties and therefore can be separated. The resolving agent is then cleaved off, leaving pure separated enantiomers. The example, resolution of 2-butanol. Resolution of the 2-butanol. Here the two enantiomers S2-butanol and R2-butanol is used. We can add tartaric acid to that enantiomeric mixture and they forms the two products as one of the product is S2-butyl R or tartarate and second one is R2-butyl R or tartarate. These two are the diastereomers. So, they can be easily separated. So, by hydrogenation of these two diastereomers can produce S2-butanol and R2-butanol and leaving that R or tartaric acid. So, for the separation of the enantiomers, so firstly the enantiomers can be converted into the diastereomers by using tartaric acid. So, in this diastereomeric form, they can be easily separated out by using distillation, crystallography or chromatographic processes. Alcohols react with enantiomerically pure tartaric acid to give two diastereomeric esters. These esters can be separated. So, the alcohols reacts with the enantiomerically pure tartaric acid to give rise to diastereomeric esters. These esters are separated. Acid hydrolysis cleaves each ester back to an optically active alcohol and carboxylic acid. The resolving agent is tartaric acid is recovered and it may be recycled. So, typically enantiopure compound are very expensive. The stereochemistry of reactions. This is a study of what happens when chiral compounds react. The studies with chiral compounds can reveal a vast amount of information about a reaction mechanism. The three general types of reactions. The first one is the reactions that occur at the chiral atom. The reactions that do not involve the chiral atoms and the reactions that generate a new chiral atoms. First, the reactions at chiral atom. If a reaction occurs at a chiral atom, so one of three things can happen. So first, it inversion of configuration. So that means if the molecule having R configuration, so it can be converted into S configuration. And the second one is racemization of the configuration. So that means the molecule or the substrate is having R configuration, so it can be converted into R and S. So R plus S configurations. The third thing is retention of the configuration. So the substrate having the configuration, so whatever it may be R and S, so that may be converted into the same. So that means the configuration cannot be changed. So the substrate having R configuration, it retains the R configuration. Next, the inversion of configuration. If a reaction takes place at a chiral center and the product has a opposite stereochemistry of the reactant molecule, so it has proceeded with inversion of configuration. So here the reaction R 2-butylo or 2-butyl tosylate, so it converts into S2-butanol. So here the substrate or the reactant molecule is having a R configuration, so it can be converted into S configuration. So in the product is 2-butanol in having the S configuration. So from the reactant to product, the configuration is changed R to S. So this is a inversion of the configuration. Then next, racemization. So many reactions will displace neither clean inversion or clean retention of configuration. Such reactions are called as racemizations. If all optical activity is lost, it is a complete racemization. If some of the optical activities remains, it is a partial racemization. The carbocation is planar in this reaction and therefore it is a chiral. The attack of the nucleophile from the top and the bottom faces are equally preferred. A racemate is produced. So here it is same time simultaneously from the top, attacking of from the top and bottom, the two products are formed. One is a inversion of configuration and second one is a retention of the configurations. The two racemates are formed equal ratios, but the configurations are changed. The next is retention of configuration. So this is a least common type of reaction. When a product maintains the same configuration as a reactant, it proceeds with retention of configuration. So here it is a reaction 2-butanol. When reacts, the product is not racemized since the slow carbon oxygen bond breaking and fast chlorine attack do not allow the cation to achieve a planar arrangement. So that is a chiral arrangement. Reactions that do not involve the chiral atom typically if bonds that directly to the chiral atom are not broken or formed. So during the reaction, the configuration will remain unchanged. So in S2 butoxide, here the reaction, the configuration is retained same in the product, that is a 2-methoxyethane. So the reactant and the product, the configuration is same. So in the reactant molecule, the configuration is S, and also the in product the configuration is S. The 4 bonds to the chiral carbon atom are unchanged and the configuration is the same. The next, reactions that generate a new chiral center. So lots of reactions form a new chiral atoms. Yet achiral reactants will always produce racemic mixtures since there is no chiral control. The next one is the asymmetric induction. This is the use of an optically active reagent or catalyst to convert an achiral reactant into a chiral product. So enzymes are especially useful for this type of transformation. So hydrogen is selectively delivered from one phase to give only one enantiomer. In 2-butanone, so in presence of enzyme NADPS and the coenzyme, so it forms 2-butanol. The enantiomeric configuration is R. The similar results can be achieved in the lab using chiral catalysts or reagents which are usually expensive. So directing effects of the chiral carbons. If there is already a carbon atom, chiral atom in the molecule, so it is possible that the stereochemistry around the atom can influence or direct a reagent to have a preferred direction of attack. The platinum catalyzed hydrogenation of 2-methyl cyclopentanone. This gives rise to products. One is a major product and another one is a minor product. The major product is a cis 2-methyl cyclopentanol and the minor product is a trans isomer. So in this platinum catalyzed hydrogenation of 2-methyl cyclopentanone, the two products are, the one of the product is major, that major product is a cis 2-methyl cyclopentanol and the minor product is a trans isomer. The hydrogen attacks from the least hindered side. The two phases of attack are not the same since the methyl group sterically hinders one phase. The chiral carbon atom communicates its chirality to the new center.